In this video, we're going to talk about the 2022 housing market here in San Diego, and it's going to start right now. So I've been seeing a lot of market prediction videos on YouTube and news updates on what people are expecting here in the housing market here in San Diego. Usually it's filled with just a bunch of stats and all these different numbers, like housing supplies and interest rates and all that sort of thing.
Does anyone understand math?
I'm not going to dive too much into the stats just because I feel like you see enough of those out there. I'm just going to give you what my experiences have been so far and kind of what I'm going to expect going through the year this year in 2022. Last year, the housing prices in San Diego went up about 26% here, which is quite a leap for housing prices. And you might think that that might not be sustainable for 2022 here, especially with interest rates rising.
Keep dreaming.
But as you will see from the first month of January here in 2022, that might be wrong. So I just want to give you a couple examples of what I've been seeing so far. A house in Pacific Highland Ranch on 6780 Elegante Way in Pacific Highland Ranch. It was listed at $1.95 million, and I'm told that it's selling for $2.5 million.
Wow, really?
Granted, I think it should have been probably listed around 2.25 because that's kind of where the comps were justifying it to be. Even on top of that, someone went out $250,000 higher than that, and I heard there was like something like 30 some offers on it. So that is quite a leap. The last one that sold over there was around 2.175. As you can see, housing prices are continuing to jump. Once one sells, one seems to go $100,000, $200,000 over the next one. Another example is one on Mannix Road in Park Village. This house was listed at $145. It probably should have been listed again around $1.6, give or take, but it is now in escrow for over $1.8 million.
Too rich for my blood.
Granted, a nice house, partially updated, bathroom's nice, good sized yard. So the ones with good sized yards typically to go over most of the comps just because people really like the large yards here in San Diego. We can be outside all year round. They're usually very popular. Or ones with views as well. The highest priced home in Park Village last year was $1.75 million. One with a view, bigger house, and in better condition. So November, it would have been 1.6, 1.65 maybe. Here in January 2022, we're at $1.8 million, a little bit over. And my last and final example is another house in Park Village. It is on Salix Way. This one was listed at $1.8 million, and that is going to go over $2.1 million.
But we can't afford that.
So again, the highest housing price in all of the neighborhood of Park Village, which is this sub-community of Rancho Penasquitos, was $1.75 million last year. And now housing prices have reached $2 million plus in Park Village. So when you think housing prices cannot go up another 20-25% here in San Diego, you might want to think again because they have already almost gone up 20% in the first month out of the year compared to last year. So just keep that in mind when you're out there house hunting. So why are the housing prices continuing to go up at such staggering rates? Well, a couple of reasons. Interest rates are beginning to rise. I believe people are rushing to get their house before the interest rates go up. Because right now the jumbo rates are around 3.1%, so still very low. But if they reach 3.5–4% on jumbo loans, which is over $850,000 or so, then your payment goes up quite a bit. So a 1% interest rate increase, like say 3.1 to 4.1 would be over 10% increase in house price, in your monthly payment. Plus the increase in home prices here in San Diego, which could be another 15 to 20% this year, depending on the demand. And demand is still very, very high in here in San Diego. I know everyone talks about this mass exodus out of California in general.
And we're never coming back here again.
It's really not happening that much in San Diego. Granted, there are people leaving San Diego, don't get me wrong, but the amount of people that are coming to San Diego from like the Bay Area, from Chicago, I even have people from Texas coming here to San Diego. And I have mentioned this before, Apple's opening offices here in San Diego that could house about 5,000 employees. So that will continue to keep the housing market here pretty ripe, especially in this North County area because a lot of the tech companies are in the Sorrento Valley area, and then the Rancho Bernardo area seems to be the two hot spots for where all the tech companies are going to. And right in the middle of it are these towns that I'm talking about, like the Pacific Highland Ranch, the Rancho Penasquitos, Park Villages. So if you're looking to buy in that neighborhood, my guess is housing prices will go up quicker in those spots, probably a higher percentage than some of the other areas. Maybe like downtown area is probably not going to be quite as hot, or the very north end counties like Carlsbad, San Marcos, although they seem to be moving pretty good. We put an offer on a house in Carlsbad, listed at $1 million, and it went over $1.3 million. And now once that one closes, that next house is going to get appraised at $1.3 million. So just keep that in mind. This housing market is not slowing down. Although I do think in quarter 3 and quarter 4 we will see a little bit of a pullback. I think once the rates start to go up, because they said they're going to raise the rates 3 times this year. Right now, jumbo loans are around 3.1%, give or take. Conforming loans are around 3.5, 3.6% is what I've heard from clients. So if those conforming rates go up to 4% and the jumbos go up to 3.5, 3.6%, you will finally see inventory start to pick up a little bit, in my opinion. Right now, we're at less than 1 month's supply of inventory, which means it will only take 1 month to sell every single house on the market here in San Diego. A normal market's 6 months supply of inventory. Once we start seeing, 3 to 4%, that's when you'll start to see the market start to settle down a little bit, and you'll be able to get offers accepted easier, and they won't go as high over asking price. You'll probably still have, 1 to 3, 4 offers, but a lot of these houses are having 10, 20, 30 offers on them. At the end of last year, I was always seeing more like 3 to 6 offers. Once January hit this year, people just lost their minds and they needed to get the interest rate more than anything.
Give it to me.
If 6 months from now the interest rate goes up a little bit and then prices retract a little bit, then it kind of ends up being the same thing. And you can't sell an interest rate. So just keep that in mind when you're out there house hunting in San Diego. So what do I think is going to happen in 2022 in the housing market? Like I said, I think the market for the first 6 months out of the year are going to be very, very hot. Probably as hot as they were, if not hotter than they were last year, if that's even possible.
Too hot, too hot, too hot.
As you can see from this first month of the year, the prices have already gone 15 to 20% over asking price based on what they were selling for last year. Everyone has their own take on this, and people say it's going to be easier to get offers accepted this year. I am not 100% sold on that, at least on the first part of this year. If you are not into making up appraisal differences, if you don't want to go way over asking price, this is definitely not the market for you. Maybe it might be worth it to put the brakes on your housing search, because trying to get an offer accepted without waiving an appraisal is almost impossible in this market. So just keep that in mind while you're out there hunting. What about quarters 3 and 4 of this year? I think as the rates go up, you'll finally see the market start to settle down. I've been kind of waiting for this for a while, but I just feel like now that the Fed has finally decided to raise the interest rates, that's the only thing that was going to slow down this market, especially in San Diego. I'm not talking for the whole country, but for the San Diego housing market, the only thing that will slow this down is a higher interest rate. I mean, I'm not in favor of higher interest rates, but if it can help my clients get houses, I'm not completely opposed to it, as long as they stay somewhat reasonable. If they stay under the 4% interest rate, that's still historically low. Obviously, people have gotten used to the 2.8%, 2.9% interest rates, but that was probably not going to last forever, and this could be finally the year that we see rates finally starting to go up, and maybe it even gives you an opportunity to buy a house here in San Diego without 300 offers on it.
Yes, finally!
So that's just my general prediction. Please let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and if it's your first time to the channel, please subscribe to our channel as we post new videos every week. Thanks for watching. Catch us next time. Bye!